Today, I am taking you courtside to the Professional Pickleball Association Skechers Invitational Summer Championships. Demonstrators have gathered. They've erected a tent right outside Ted Lieu's office doors in hopes that he will make a statement about veterans' homelessness issues. It's a new year, a new you, and maybe the new you is a rock star. To help bring out your inner star, School of Rock has programs for all ages to help bring your dreams to reality. Nearly 3 years ago, to the month, the very first tents started popping up here along San Vicente Boulevard, thus creating Veterans Row, an unhoused veterans encampment that was located just outside the gates of the VA. On March 26th, over 1.5 million Los Angeles residents who received CalFresh saw a decrease in their benefits. I'm Juliet Lemar. Today we're in Santa Monica speaking with local food banks and CalFresh recipients who are bracing for a hunger cliff. Food insecurity can affect more than just your belly. And according to the Department of Social Services, over 1.5 million Los Angeles residents rely on monthly benefits from CalFresh. Residents like Saida Hernandez, a student at Santa Monica College, attributes her family's ability to overcome homelessness to the help they receive from this governmental food assistance program.
I started using CalFresh since I was a little girl. At that time, we were homeless. CalFresh did help me to make sure that I'm still going to school.
In addition to pursuing a degree, Saida also has a job. And now, with the decrease in benefits, she's faced with the possibility of putting her education on hold to support her family.
With the decrease on the CalFresh and the increase of goods such as milk, I would probably not be a part-time student anymore. I want to continue to be a student, to be the first of my family, the first generation, to actually succeed in going to college and getting a degree.
Food banks say that 1 in 5 LA families struggles with food insecurity, and Genevieve Riatort of Westside Food Bank is bracing her facility for a hunger cliff.
Families could be losing close to $300 a month in resources, and individuals are losing about $80 a month.
Losing crucial nutritional support can also put a strain on other basic need areas, such as housing.
Families are having to make really hard choices. So we feel like if we can provide the food, then that helps families to use their limited resources to stay housed.
And food banks need your help in meeting the spike in demand.
It's really important to support local food banks and food programs right now, because that's how we feed people in their immediate need. But it's also important to advocate for the kinds of policies that hopefully won't leave as many people behind.
To donate, you can find your local food bank at lafoodbank.org. There's always more to the story than what meets the eye, especially when you're talking about Hollywood. And right now, there's over 160,000 union actors and writers on strike. That strike is affecting more than just the people on the picket lines. I'm Juliet Lemar, here in North Hollywood, where we are at a local prop store, talking to them about how this strike is affecting their business. As the historic strike continues, special effects and props creator Ryan Johnson of New Rule FX says that his company has lost 70% of its usual revenue.
So the strike has affected us pretty completely.
Special effects and prop fabricators like New Rule FX are an essential piece of making movie magic. With props such as breakaway glass and wood that keep actors safe, to fake blood, phony money, plastic food, and foam weapons.
The jobs that we get from, the motion picture industry and the broadcast TV industry are all but gone. Coming out of COVID and then being hit with this, it's been kind of a double whammy against us.
For now, New Rule FX is staying afloat through YouTube projects, Halloween horror accessories, custom retail projects, and relying heavily on their savings.
We certainly understand the need for people to be paid a fair wage and for their rights to be represented. And I support all of that. One of the things that's scary is I have no say over this strike. I have no dog in this fight. I can't do anything. So we're kind of just stuck with waiting it out and hoping the industry comes back quickly and very robustly so that we can get back to doing what we do best.
Nearly 3 years ago, to the month, the very first tents started popping up here along San Vicente Boulevard, thus creating Veterans Row, an unhoused veterans encampment that was located just outside the gates of the VA. I'm Juliet Lemar here in Brentwood, where we are seeing 2 new buildings being unveiled to provide housing to the unhoused veterans who used to call San Vicente Boulevard home. On May 2nd, 2023, 120 move-in ready apartments were unveiled at the West LA VA campus. Buildings 205 and 208 are for homeless and at-risk veterans who've been waiting for years for permanent housing. Veteran Josh Pewitt was one of many who lived in a tent here on San Vicente Boulevard.
3 years ago, there was about 75 tents up and down the street full of veterans, most of them disabled.
The Veterans Row encampment showcased the need for veterans to be near the VA, for their medical services and for camaraderie, and it came at a cost to those living on the street.
It's like being back in Iraq. It's everything is always on high alert. 2 people got murdered out here.
Josh believes that those 2 deaths could have been avoided had the VA provided housing and mental health services earlier.
It was both mental illness, straight up, and it could have been prevented if the VA would have had them in there.
Josh is expecting to move into the new buildings in a few weeks, but many veterans are still ineligible due to a 30% AMI limit set by the building's developers and made worse by the non-taxed disability benefits they receive being counted as income, thus locking many 100% disabled veterans out of housing.
I feel bad because I've got really good friends that are still out on the street literally right now, and there's still, thousands of homeless veterans.
Veteran advocates are grateful for the progress, but stress there is still much more work to be done.
So 3 years ago this month is when we first set up the tents with flags on San Vicente Boulevard, and that was before there were any tiny home units on this property. That was before any of these buildings were constructed. So it's been a long road to get to where we are today, and I'm thankful that most, not all, of the remaining veterans from San Vicente are going to be moving into these buildings over the next couple weeks. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and the VA is 7 years behind on their schedule to deliver the promised housing. And they're also involved in an active lawsuit.
The current lawsuit against the VA has been brought by 14 disabled and unhoused veterans seeking to hold the VA accountable for providing 1,200 units of on-campus housing promised by 2015. To date, there are now 233 units of housing on campus.
I'm hopeful that with everything happening today that we'll continue to keep the momentum going and get this housing built much faster and get our veterans off the street.
After the ribbon cutting, Secretary Dennis McDonough had this message for veterans.
President Biden assigned me to this job with a simple job description, which is to fight like hell for all veterans.
There is a new rising star on the forefront of fashion and inclusion. 18-year-old Tammy Eugenio Ferreira. Last year, Tammy became the first ever runway model with cerebral palsy to grace the stage at LA Fashion Week. Fashion is a tough industry, but Tammy isn't letting anything stand in her way, and she's here to tell you herself.
I have a passion for fashion. By the way, I have cerebral palsy. So what?
Tammy's irresistible charm and spicy attitude caught the eye of streetwear designer Nicholas Mayfield, and since her debut in his 2021 runway show, they have become close friends. What was the most exciting part of walking in his show last year?
Everything.
Everything?
I'm happy to be here. Modeling for you.
Tammy and Mayfield returned to LA Fashion Week this year with vibrant energy and a new custom outfit designed by Nicholas Mayfield and inspired by Tammy herself. You are rocking this look!
I want to do all eyes on me, so I put all eyes on her.
What's your favorite part about it? Yeah, that he does it?
I love the hat.
It's so good. Oh, and the jacket? Oh, that's so cool! I can tell you're a fashionista.
I am.
It's clear that Mayfield and Tammy share a love of fashion and a wonderful friendship that goes beyond the designs.
Yo, it's just God moves, so here we are.
Success did not come easy. Tammy has had to work hard to get where she is today, defying doctors' diagnosis that she would never walk, talk, or sit. Tammy has spent countless hours in therapy and continues to break barriers with her ceaseless determination and dedication to her goals. She is currently pursuing her dreams in fashion, getting a higher education, and even learning to drive. And this is just the beginning of Tammy's journey.
I cannot wait to see you out there on the runway again.
Thank you. I'm coming back.